In this tutorial, we will learn how to create forms in HTML. And in this HTML, forms are required to collect different user input, such as contact details like email and phone number and details. So forms contain special elements is called like input boxes, uh, check boxes, radio buttons, and submit buttons. So in this tutorial, we will learn HTML forms. Like in this HTML forms contains some special characters like we call it as a special elements. So like input and check boxes, and we have radio buttons, and we have submit like submit button. So in the form, so we have a important element is called input element. This is the most commonly used element within the HTML forms. So input is a text element in order to enter the text in the input boxes. And in this HTML, we have the four types of available elements in the forms. One is one is HTML form elements. One is HTML form elements, HTML input types, HTML input attributes, and HTML form attributes. So these are the four special elements available in the forms. One is HTML form elements, HTML input types, HTML input attributes, HTML form attributes. So first, we'll discuss about the HTML form elements. So what are the form elements available in the HTML? The form elements, the first is the text field. So we can use the text field here. For this text field, in order to enter the user input in the text field like checkboxes. In that input field, so user can enter the text in it. So first we have this form elements. We have the text field. The text field we can use it to enter like input type equal to text. And in this input in the form fields, we use a label tag. We use label here. So label is a tag which is used to define the label of an input element. Label is a tag. It is used to define the label of input elements. So label can be used inside of input. In order to highlight the input, we can use a label here. And next we have this password field. Next we have pass password field. Password field. Pa Password field is similar to the text field, and the only difference between this text field and the password field is to hide the characters. So whenever you can type the password as a type here, that time we can hide the characters using this password field. And next we have the password along with the radio buttons, along with radio button. The radio button we are used to we are used for to select the user select. And one more options will be available for this radio buttons is to check the values, like you can select the values. And also we have checkboxes. The checkboxes are allowed to select the one or more action. That is, you need to select multiple actions for the checkboxes. Next, reset button. So here we can use the submit button to submit the forms. Along with we can use the reset also. We can use a reset button also. And the form, we use the action attribute. We use action attribute. So this attribute tells us the action attribute defines action will be performed when the form is submitted. So whenever the form is submitted, some action will be performed. That action will be takes place in this action attribute. I'll show the example. There you get the clear understanding. Let me open this Visual Studio. So here I'm taking the new program. I'll just save this file with forms.html, forms.html, and I just type here. I'll create the new program and just type forms there. So here first I'll take the basic form. How to create this basic form? I'll just remove this action. I'll just take the simple form here. So here how to take the form? Using the form, using the form tag, we can create the form there. In this form, I'll write name, name, and in this name, we'll just here take the input, take the input tag, type, type equal to text here, type text input close. Now we can run this one on the browser. Right click, open in default browser. Now there you get this output like name and input. Now I'll take one more input field. So for this one, I'll take here email, email, and I'll take input here type. We'll just take email here and close. Now we will run this one on the browser. So input is a tag, input is a empty element, and it will it's a inline. If you take the form, what will happen means it will be printed as a inline format. Now we need to print in the block level manner. I mean, we need to print this email as a downwards. Now we need to use here break tag. So here I'm taking this br. Now here also I'll put the br here. Now here I'll mention this break tag. Now just open this browser, just reload this page. Now there you get this plug, name and email. And I told you that input we have several fields is there. So instead of taking this type as a, sorry, I'm taking this type email, right? So here you can also take this text here. You can take the text as well as email also. Now here I'm taking, instead of text, I'll take this email here. So we can use this email. Next, I'll take the br tag. Now we need to create this submit button. So here for creating the buttons, we have two types is there, so that we can directly take input type equal to submit. So you can take the submit as well as you can take the button also, and we'll provide the value there. Value, the value we can write sent or sign in or send option. So you can write any of the text in the values. Next, go to this browser, just reload this page now. So we created the send button here. Now we created this send button. So like this, we can create the basic form here. So this is a basic form. So here in this basic form, I would like to explain. So in this form, we can write several things like placeholder. We can write the values. We can write the name. I'll explain why we mention these names and placeholder and everything. First, this is a basic form. I'll take here. I'll take one more form. So the same form I'll just written in the label format. Forms using label here. This is a form element, and here I'm taking the form, and I just mention hash there for this action, and here I'm taking the label tag, label, and in the label we use the for attribute. What is the use of this for attribute? I'll explain why we use the for here. First, I'll take the label here. In this label, I'll enter full name, full name or first name, and here I'll provide this input type. The type we can write text here, type text and input close. And again, I'm taking this label tag. I'm taking label here. I'll just mention last name, and again I'm taking this type there. Sorry, I'll take a input, and in this input I'll just type text there. Next, I'm taking this label. I'm taking the label tag. So in this label tag, I'll provide email, email, and below that I take this input, input type equal to email. Next, I'll take one more label tag. In this label, I'll provide this password. Password, and here we take this input type equal to. So first I'll take the text there. Then after we'll change this to password. So what is the difference between text and password in the password field? Now, so after the input, I'll just mention it there. I'll just create one more button, input. So here you can take the type equal to submit button, or you can type directly take the button tag itself. You take the button, or else you can take the submit here. And value, value equal to, I'll provide this submit. Now, so we can run this one on the browser. Go to this browser, reload this page. Now look at this one. We place form there. So for this form, I'll take the br tag. I'll take here br, and I'll provide here br, and I'll provide break tag for this one. And now go to this browser, just reload this page. So we place this first name, last name, email, and password. Now here, look at this one. So if you enter this first name, like name there, Kumar, and email like gmail.com. And if you enter the password there, if you enter the password, see what will happen. I'll just enter this Sunil at the rate 123. So if you enter the password, so you are giving the text input field as a text. If you're giving the input field as a text here, so it will be visible here. So in order to hide these characters of the password, so you need to enter here. Instead of taking the text, we'll provide this password. We'll provide the password here. Now go to this browser, just reload this page. Now we will enter the details here. We'll enter the details, Sunil, and last name. We'll provide this Kumar, and we'll enter this email, Sunil Kumar at the rate gmail.com. And I just enter this password. If you enter the password, I've seen this one here. See here. If you see the password here, the password will be in the characters. So that is the use of if you type the type equal to password. And here, let me go to this Visual Studio, and yeah, we'll write this form, right? So what is the use of this form, right? Whenever user click on this label button, at the time the input field must be highlighting. In order to highlighting the input text, we'll write the label here. So for here the first name, right? I'll just write the first. I'll write the first in the for. So the same we can use the for, right? So you need to call this first name using id in the input field. So here you can provide this id. Just you can type first here. You can write first there. Now go to this browser once, reload this page, reload this page. So I'm clicking this first option. Now look at this one. I'm clicking the first option. It is automatically select the input field. That is the use of the label attribute. And next, so here if we take the for this last name, I'll provide the last here. And so the same thing you'll write for this input also. Here in order to select this for, we can use the id in order to call the for. And id, here we will provide this id as a last there. Now go to this forms, go to this browser, just reload this page. Now when you click on this last, now automatically input will be highlighting. Now here, so you are using this forms, right? So in this forms, in the input submit field, I'll use a value attribute. So what is a value means? You are predefinedly, you are forcibly added the value for the input field. That is, you are predefined, you can add the values here. So the input, what will happen if you give the values here? So in the input, I'll just provide here, I just provide value, a value equal to soy, and last name. I'll provide this value. I'll provide the value Krishna, and sorry, sir, value is for only the input, and this input I'll just provide here. And next, for this email, I'll provide this value like value soy at the rate gmail.com. See, you are predefinitely giving the values for this form. The form is containing this information like Sai, Krishnan, Gmail, and Let me open this browser once. Just reload this page. Now look at this one here. Look at this one here. We have this first name as a Sai, last name as a Krishna, and email as a sai@gmail.com. So when you want to enter the details, so again you can go to this first name. You need to remove this Sai, and you can enter this details here. So that is the use of this value attribute. So you are predefinedly avail the values in the input field. So when you want to enter your name, you need to delete this value, and again you can enter the your input. So that is the use of this value there. And next, the forms using the placeholder. Using placeholder. What is the meant by placeholder? So in order to enter the text in the input field, so we can use this placeholder. Just copy this one, and here I'm just using forms using placeholder. Placeholder. Next, I just remove this value there. I just remove this value, and I'll remove this value here. For this input, we'll provide this placeholder. We'll provide the placeholder. In the placeholder, we'll write, please enter your name. Please, please enter, or else you can type enter your name. And second, so here you can write one more placeholder for this input field. Just write enter your last name. Enter last name. And for this email, you can take those placeholder and enter your email. Enter email. Email or Gmail. Whatever. And for the password, you can type enter your password. Type the placeholder, enter password. Now go to this browser one, just reload this page. Now look at this one. So this is a placeholder forms using the placeholder. Just you can type here, just you can type the names there. So that is the use of this placeholder in order to enter the text in the input field. Next, go to this notepad. So I told you that action attribute. So what is the use of this action attribute means? Action attribute defines that action attribute is defines that the whenever user can submit the form, some action will be performed. That is using action attribute. So here, let me open this Visual Studio. So here, I'll save one more file. I'll take one more, and I can say the file with I can say the file with success success.html. So here for the success, I'll create the new program, and I'll just write here. I'll just mention. Thanks for submitting the form. So here I'll just write style attribute. Sorry, style. I'll take the h1 For this H1, we'll just write color green, and I'll provide this font size. No need to write the font size. It's enough. Now we'll create this success here. This success.html will use in this action attribute. So action is an attribute. Whenever a user submit the form button, the time the action will be performed. So for the action, see here, action will be used for the form validations. So for the form, whenever user click on the submit button, at that time, it will be redirect to the another page. That redirect to the another page is in this action attribute. So action is an attribute. It is defines that whenever user submit the form data, that time uh, action will be performed. So here I'm taking this same form. I'm taking this same form. I'll provide here, and we'll just write using action there. The action will write the success.html. Success.html. Now we'll go to this browser once. Go to the browser. Just reload this page. Look at this one. I'm just submit the form there. I just enter. I'm not entering any details in the form. I just submit this form. So when you submit this form, why? Oh, wait a second. We'll save this file in the desktop. Now we'll just give the path there. Success.html. Now go to this browser once. Just reload this. Sorry. Now open in default browser. Now it will be open here. So I just increase the size. Now when I click on this submit button, or yes. So here, if you use the submit button there, whenever user click on this submit, that time it will go to this success.html. Thanks for submitting the form. Action is an attribute. Whenever user click on this submit button, it will redirect to this another page. Now here, have you observed this one here? So the form will be submitted in the same page itself. So you need to submit the form in next page or next blank. We use a target attribute. So target attribute specifies that where to display the responsive, that is where to display the response received by the input, where to display a response received by the input after submitting the form. So here I need to this response in the new window itself. For this new window itself, again go to this Visual Studio. So here we can write this target equal to underscore target underscore blank there. Now go to this browser, reload this page. When our user click on the submit button, it will be open in the redirect here. Now, have you observed this one? So I'm just submit the form without entering any details. So you need to fill each and every form. We have a required attribute. So that comes under this required attribute. So here we just write required for this input field for this input, right? So here we can write this required attribute required, and here also just provide required there, and here also just provide required, and here also just provide required attribute. Now go to this browser, just reload this, sorry, I'll just close this one. Now reload this page. Now coming here, so when I'm clicking on submit, so it will ask for please fill the fields there, please fill the fields there. So that is the use of required. It is required is an attribute. It is must and should mandatory for input field. That is we need to enter mandatory details. So for that purpose we can use the attribute, we can use this required attribute here. Next, in this form we use two methods. So that is one is get method, another one is a post method. So the method attributes specifies that http request, that is in order to submit the form data, the form will be in form will be store your details, right? That using these methods. So you need to send data to the server. We use the two methods here, that is one is get method, another one is a post method. Here we can use two methods, that is post method. Get method and post method. So get is a method, it appends the data from URL. So whenever you can use the get method in the form itself, whenever you can use the get method in the form, what will happen means, so if you enter the details in the form, whenever you can click on the submit button, the get method, what are the details you can enter in the form, that details will be visible in the URL itself. So we have a URL, right? So the details will be filled here, will be shown in the get method here. So developers always prefers, the most of the developers always prefer the post method. Post is a high secured data, so it will hide the sensitive information and send the request to the server. So here a get method is to open the data from the URL and the name of the values. And here never use the get method to send the sensitive data. Sensitive data means for the personal information. So never use the get method to send the sensitive data in the forms. And the get method has 2048 characters. Get method has a 2048 characters. It will allows only the 20 and 40 characters. So I'll just copy this one. I'll just copy here, copy this H1. See here, you need to validate the forms, right? For the validation, you need to mention name attribute inside of the input tag. You need to mention especially this name attribute. This name will be help for this form validations. So here we write this action, right? So I don't want to write this action there. I'll mention this hash symbol for the action. I'll just provide hash here. Now I'll just remove this target attribute. I don't want this target, and I'll just write the method there. Method. So here we can use the get method. So what will happen? We can use the get method there. Now in the input, we'll mention name. Name equal to name equal to first name, and name equal to last name, and here for this input I'll just mention name equal to email, name equal to email, and for the password we just write a name equal to password, name equal to password, and here for this submit button we use the name equal to submit, like so you are using the get method. Now open this browser, just reload this page. Now I'll just change this headings to using method, using method get. Now just reload this page. Now here, see, I'll just enter name there, Venkatesh Krishna. Gmail, I'll just mention any of this Gmail you want. Now the password. The password I'll just enter here 123. Now I'll just submit this form button. See, look at this one. What are the details I just enter in the form field? Now look at this one, the URL, the URL itself. See here, first name Venkatesh, last name Krishna, email this one, the password Sunni at the rate 401, sorry, at the rate 123. See, if you use this submit get method, what are the data? We can enter the sensitive data entered in the form that must be visible on the URL itself. So don't use the get method. If you use the get method, hackers will be easy to hack your data. So always use the post method to send the sensitive information to the server using the forms here. So most we can use the methods for the form validations using this get and post method. Next we have, so if you use the post means this information will be not be displayed in the URL itself. Next, next we have input types. Next we have form elements. Form el- so form elements are we have input, label, select, text area, field set, field set, option, button, and we have output, data list. So these are the form elements we have available in this HTML. Input label, sorry, select, and text area, field set, option, button, output, data list along with legend. Legend. and so we can use here. And coming to here, we discussed about this check boxes and radio buttons. I'll show the example for radio buttons and check boxes. Let me go to this Visual Studio. So here I'm taking this one more form. Forms are radio buttons and checkbox. Checkbox. Here I'm just using a form. For the form, I'll mention this ash. We can directly take this label, or if you don't want this label there, just put this for. If you want, you can put the label, or else you just remove the label here. If you take the label, just you can take inside of this input there. Inside, you can take the input tag. Input type equal to radio. Just you can type mail there. Now go to this browser. Just reload this page. Go to this down option. There you get radio button. So this is the radio button. Now I'll take one more label and will provide the female. I'll take one more. I'll just provide other other here. Now go to this browser. Just reload this page. Now look at this one. So we created this three radio buttons. Now so user can select any of this one. Now what will happen is, see, I'll select this female and I also select this male, and also I am selecting this other option. To overcome this advantage, to overcome this disadvantage, so here we need to mention equal value for three. So these three are the gender specification, right? Next, go to this here input, just type value equal to, just type gender here, and the same value I just given for this input field, for the input field here. Now go to this browser one, just reload this page. Now if we select any of this, only one option here. Again it's coming. I'll provide there the name. Yes. So you can select either only one option. So we need to give equal name for. So here is a code. We can give equal name for radio buttons. That is, to select, user can be either only one option. That's why we can write this name inside of this input field, not a gender. So just remove this value, not a problem. Now that is the radio buttons. Next we have checkbox. Next we have the checkboxes. Same, I just copy this one, and I'll provide here. Just remove radio button. So this is the checkbox. For the checkboxes, just type instead of radio, just type checkbox. 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 And for this checkbox, no need to mention this all these things. Checkbox we can select multiple options. And now I just type here HTML, CSS, JavaScript, JavaScript. Now I'll just save this one. Now here, look at it. So you can select all these options. And here by default, the first one will be in the checked format. For this purpose, we just write the attribute like if you want to check this first input always will be in the checker position, then we can write here checked. So checker is an attribute. It will specifies that by default it will be in the checker position. Now look at this one. So HTML is always in the checker position. So that is the use of this checkboxes and radio buttons. Now the tomorrow session I'll continue with this field set, data list, and input type attributes, and we have some form attributes is there: read only, disable, size, max width, min width. So how to upload the files, how to change the color, that will be continued on this tomorrow session.